If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs.
I was raving about Zandalari trolls in the monk video that I produced before the Paladin video because they look so good in transmogs, particularly this one for Paladins. I mean, seriously, how epic does this look on a Zandalari troll? Now, it's not going to look as good. Well, it looks good on a Draenei as well. It's an easy set to get, believe it or not. And you want to find out more, click the links in the description, zip you over to Wowhead, you get some ideas of other substitutes, and you can send me your ideas in a Wowhead file link. Send it via email. For some reason, links don't work in the comments, no matter what I do, even when I enable them, they're not enabled. So go to my About page, and you can send me your ideas, particularly Paladin, Rogue, Shaman. Those are the ones I need the most. I tend to struggle finding xmogs for those particular classes. So if you play those classes, certainly extend your ideas. I'm guilty as charged. Yes, this is a set I previewed before, but I really like this set and I wanted to throw it out there again. It looks just so cool for Paladin. It really does. Gotta love how that, I think I changed the sword though. That's the one thing I might have changed, and also the cloak. But you love that kind of dirty gold look with the purple and the gray. It just works so well for Paladin. I guess it would work for warriors too, but you'd have to find different shoulders and gloves in order to mod this on a warrior. As you can see, you got a human paladin here. He's going to do the spin. He's going to show the cloak, and that is a Venthyr cloak. So yeah, I think I did change the cloak on this set. I like that Venthyr cloak for it much better. But there's a lot of options that you could go as far as cloaks go, a lot of options you could go as far as weapons. But yeah, I'm just digging this set for Paladin. It's rugged, it's got that Paladin look to it. It just works. This doesn't fit the class fantasy of Paladin. We're going to shoot it out. We're going to put it on the table right here and there because people don't always want to show off the class fantasy. Sometimes they want something that just looks unique, or sometimes they want to look like another class. And I think this certainly achieves both those points. Look like a different class and also look unique. Is it Paladin? We're going to say this is a Paladin class fantasy look? No, it's not. But there are a lot of different things, a lot of different reasons people go with themes for xmog. Some want something unique, some want something sexy, some want the whole class fantasy, some want to look like a different class. So I try to represent all of them. There's 10 xmogs per video, so we get to a little bit of everything here. And that's the way I do things. So if you don't like it, that's okay. You're allowed not to. It's a free country. Here's a pretty cool looking Paladin set. It's a recolor on the shoulders and the gloves of a Paladin tier. And the weapon just goes incredibly well with this set. You got the belt, which is from Throne of Thunder, the chest, the legs, the boots. I believe they're all from Wrath of the Lich King, and that headpiece is from Shadowlands. Now that does take away from the whole class fantasy of Paladin there, but I just thought it went too well with this set. Between the gray and the blue, it just went way too well. So now we have a human paladin. We're gonna show the cloak. Do the spin, show the cloak. I do believe that is a cloak from Shadowlands, but there are a lot of different ways you could go as far as the cloak here, because it's blue and there's tons of blue cloaks or blue main color cloaks in World of Warcraft. Not that many gray, not that many black, tons of blue, tons of red. Red wouldn't go with this though. No, I don't think so. Going pretty heavy with the Kyrian here. It's a mix of a couple of different patches on Kyrian gear. And I do believe we're pulling that mace from Wrath of the Lich King. I'm not sure if there is a headpiece that also is, you can barely see it. It's a Kyrian headpiece and Kyrian wings. So yeah, a lot of Kyrian stuff going on here, except for the weapon. But I think that weapon goes extraordinarily well with this set. Now, if you want, You don't have to go with the robe look. You could go with the chest and the legs on this Kyrian set, and it would look just as good, I believe. But big representation on Kyrian. And Kyrians. I'm thinking red Kyrian, I'm thinking beer. I don't know why. But it works. It works for Paladin. The whole Kyrian thing just rings Paladin. So I think we hit the class fantasy pretty hard and on target. Bullseye with class fantasy. Yeah, very red. I understand. It's not the class fantasy look for Paladin. I think this video has a little overdosed on non-class fantasy Paladin xmogs, but we have a couple more coming, and I do think they hit the class fantasy pretty hard and accurate. I thought this looked great on a DK, a blood DK specifically. It looks great for a warrior, and you know, the set itself looks really cool if you could get by not embracing the class fantasy. And I said this 1,000 times. It's not always about the class fantasy. Sometimes you want to look like another class. Sometimes you just want a unique and stand out in a crowd. Sometimes you want something sexy. Sometimes you want something silly or something goofy. And when you're a paladin and you look like a warrior or a blood DK, yeah, then you're kind of venging or veering towards goofy and silly. In the opinion of some. In others, they just love the uniqueness of it, and that's what we're shooting for. I promised I'd showcase class fantasy for Paladin, and yeah, this is it. This is it. Big time, this is it. And it's also got a bit of a uniqueness to it. Let's break it down. You got those shoulders, which are one of those many shoulders that Blizzard showcased for Shadowlands that you could purchase in Torghast, get on a drop in Korthia, and I think they look pretty darn cool. And that back piece also I think is a Korthia piece. The weapon, which is a two-handed weapon, that of course is Uldir, which is BFA. A lot of Kyrian stuff here on the chest, the legs, the belt, and also the boots and the headpiece. You just got those wings popping out. I wasn't a big fan of that Kyrian set across the board for all classes, all armor wearers, but it works. Pieces of it work. As a whole, I don't think it works, but pieces of it, it's got that kind of Greek thing going, I think. I wasn't particularly clear. What do I mean by that Greek thing going when I mentioned that previous set? I mean ancient Greece, ancient Rome. You got that toga kind of look, and those sandals that are just kind of almost like shoelaces intertwined up towards your knees. I mean, it's got that very classic old school Greek look, old school Roman look, and this is nothing like that. Matter of fact, this doesn't even look like anything a paladin would wear. So why am I putting it out here? People don't always want to look like paladin. They want to look like warriors. They want to look like DKs. They want to look like hunters. You ever see a hunter that's wearing a robe? Is that class fantasy for hunters? No, I don't think so. They're just trying to look unique, and this is a unique look for paladin. As you can see, heavy Necrolord stuff from Shadowlands. You got that mace, goes well. And we lick a finger and turn the page and come back to the class fantasy look. Very yellow, golden yellow. Yes, definitely colors, definitely texture, very much Paladin. Zandalari troll, looking pretty epic. We got a few different xpacs here. We got the headpiece as well as the belt. Maybe the boots, I think, are all from Legion. Some vanilla pieces, the chest, the legs, and of course the gloves. That sword is from BFA, if I'm not mistaken, Isle Expeditions or the Auction House. And now we have a human paladin, and he's gonna do the spin and show the cloak, which is the bright cloak. Now I usually like the longer one. There's a version of that, looks exactly the same except that it's longer. You could go with that. I think that's called the bright cloak. I'm not sure what this is called, but there are lookalikes for both the longer one and the short one. That's why the Wowhead links are there. I always refer people to go there, and you could find additives, different stuff there. And set 10 brings us back to class fantasy. Heavy Kyrian look here on the Pretty much the whole thing, except for the head and the shoulders. Those two are from Legion, a Legion tier. But we have different tiers of Kyrian stuff. We have the Kyrian back piece, the wings, says Paladin. So now you could have the light blue wings and the gold wings when you pop Avenging Wrath, and probably look really cool with this set overall. I think that mace is a Kyrian mace, but there's a lot of other maces you could use here. So it's a mixture of different tiers of Kyrian gear. Kyrian says Paladin, Paladin says Kyrian. I can't understand how there could be a DK Kyrian or any other class, because Kyrian just is the blue man thing, and it's definitely thinking Paladin all the way. But then again, you know, there's people aren't always going for the class fantasy. I said that a bazillion times. I don't know why. I just keep repeating myself. My name is Luxeley. I said that a bazillion times too. I want to thank you guys for stopping by and leave you with a final thought. Whatever it is by you, whether it's morning, afternoon, like it is here, or nighttime, I want you guys to choose to make your day epic.